Hi, in this topic we are going to now talk about how to set up your resources pool. So let's begin. So when you talk about setting up resources in Microsoft project, we can broadly set up three types of resources. We can call it work, material and cost resources. Now work resources basically consists of your man and machine resources. Material consists of your consumables, and cost are the expenses, the expense heads that you would like to track in your project. So for example, if I talk about workman resource, could be an architect or a designer or a particular person. Machine could be like you might be using a heavy machine or a not moving machine in your project, construction project. Material could be the consumables like steel, iron, bricks that you would like to track, and cost could be the expenses like the travel heads, the expenses of training that you are going to track in your project. So you can create these type of resources. Now when it comes to work, man and machine, they can be individual resources. Like if I talk about man, it can be a resource by name like Jack or Ben, or you can create a group resource like a group of architects, or a group of designers or a group of engineers. So let us see how do you do it in a Microsoft project. So I'll just open the Microsoft project which we have been working in our previous exercises. So to create a resource pool, I need to change my view from Gantt chart view to a resource view, and that is called the resource sheet. So I'll go to view, and under the different views that I have, more views, I can just scroll down and click on resource sheet and click on apply. So again, this is the view in which I'll create all my resources. So there are different columns I use. As you can see, the resource name, the type. Under type we'll select whether it's a work, material or cost resource. The material column is generally used to define the units of material resources. Initials, if you have any for your resources, like doctorate or PhD, anything you'd like to track. Group resources can be used to segregate resources under different heads, like you might want to segregate the human resources as per their department, so you can create departments as one of the group. The maximum column is used to define the maximum availability of the resource in your project. The standard rate defines their hourly rate and or the monthly rate that you are going to pay out to the resources, or their billing rate. Basically it's not their salary, it's their billing rate over time if you are paying any. Cost per use again is used for resources that you are generally going to pay to resources as per their usage basis. Then under accrue, if you drop down, you can see there are three options: start, prorated and end. That means how do you want the cost to be accrued. Start means as soon as the task starts, the entire cost in which this resource would be associated will be incurred, and end means when the task will finish, then only the cost will be accrued. Prorated means as per the progress. Base will define the calendar which it belongs to, and code if they have any employee code again which you would like to enter, and so on. If you want to add more columns, you can add. So let us create a resource here by the name Jack. So I created a Jack resource. Obviously it's a human resource, I'll tag it under work. Under material I leave it blank. So under initials I can write his initials, doctorate or any, or I can just leave it as it is. Group, if it belongs to, let's say he belongs to the IT department, so I'll type in IT here. So maximum availability 100%. 100% means as per our calendar 8 hours is available towards this project. If he's available anything less, then you can define it like, let's say he's available only for half a day during the project, so you'll write 50%. Standard rate, by default it is by hour. You can change the default standard units from hour to days, again to go into file and options. So let's say his billing rate is $100 per hour. Overtime not going to be any. Cost per use is nothing. I'll track accrue and base. The base by default it will take as the standard calendar. So this is how you create your work resource, that to individual. If I have to create a work resource, human resource, let's say group, like let's say I have 5 engineers working in my project. So one option which Microsoft project gives us is that rather than creating 5 different engineers, I can straight away create a group resource. So I'll type engineers work, shells, and I'll leave it, let's say this is belong to the engineering team. And under percentage, instead of 100 I can type it here as, let's say 5 engineers, I'll type it as 500, which typically I can understand that these are talking about 5 different resources that will be working together in the project. Now remember, you can create only group resource when their other things are same, like their skills, their standard rates, if overtime, if any. So let's say their rate is $80 per hour, overtime done, so on. If I have to create a material resource, let's say I'm going to use steel in my project, so I can type steel, right? So under work, I'll go ahead and select material, so I'll just type the standard rate. As now here I have to define the per unit, like if it is quintal or kg or ton. So whatever is the standard rate, I have to define that. So let's say it is $60 per ton. So under material, I'll just write as ton, so it means $60 per ton. And if I want to track any cost head, let's say I want to track the cost head on travel, so under travel I'll just type it as cost. Here there is no standard rate, because this will be, when I'll assign this to an activity, there I have to define that how much cost I'm planning to spend on that respective activity. I do not define a standard rate for expenses. Expenses generally don't have standard rates, because let's say I'm traveling from here to an X location, let's say I'm traveling from Delhi to Mumbai, then the cost will be different. Whereas if I travel from Delhi to let's say I'm traveling to Delhi to Chicago, then the cost would be different. So whenever I assign this travel to that respective activity, depending on where I'll be traveling, I'll assign that cost respectively. We'll see how to assign resources in the respective tasks. So this is how you create your resource pool. Now again, like activities, you can type in the resources, or else if you can go to resource tab and click on add resources. If you have your resources in your Outlook address book, you can take it from address book. If you are connected to any server, and if you have your resources in the Active Directory, you can take the resources from there. If you have your resource sheet in Excel sheet, you can copy paste it. If you have it in Word, you can copy paste it from there also. So this is how you create your resources pool. In the subsequent topics, we'll learn how to set the calendar of the resources. Now here, if you see, look at Jack, by default it has taken the standard calendar which we created earlier, 9:30 to 6:30, which we created earlier. So we can change it, because resources availability might be different from the project's working timings. Like this resource may be sitting outside in India, let's say he's sitting in Dubai, so his timings would be different compared to what is here in India. So we'll customize these calendar of the resources. In the subsequent topics, we'll also learn how to like resources rates might change over a period of time. Like let's say the price of steel might change over a period of time, so we will see how to change how to put that factor into consideration, that if let's say from November onwards the price of steel is going to go up by 10% or by certain dollars, so how to track that as well. So that is also what we'll see. So we'll see how to see and understand how to customize the resources information, resources details in the subsequent topics. So that's it for this topic. See you in the next topic. Thank you.